owing to its population. In this regard, the maritime industry holds the key to the nation's growth and development. For the latest news on the maritime industry, tune in to Maritime Today on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, a program designed to showcase the opportunities and challenges in the Nigerian maritime sector. Why don't you join us on Wednesdays at 9:15 a.m. and Saturdays at 10:15 a.m. on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM as we highlight the development and new regulations put in place to address the problems of the maritime industry. Wednesdays 9:15 a.m. and Saturdays 10:15 a.m. Maritime Today is brought to you by the Nigerian Shippers Council.
Hi there, welcome to your number one frequency for mobility and accessibility, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, cruising you along the lane of excellence this beautiful Saturday morning, taking you 1,000 miles ahead of the information race. It's Saturday, and that means a whole lot. The bees and the buzz of Nigeria's commercial hub is gradually waking up to the realities of traffic. So it's, even though it's being very, very calm, I can tell you that the wave of traffic will gradually begin to surge any moment from now. So whatever you do today, let us seek true friendship in people around us and develop the atmosphere for cordiality. Albert Camus says, and I'm going to quote him, "Don't walk behind me that I may not lead. Don't walk in front of me that I may not follow. Just walk beside me and be my friend." End of quote. Something for you to reflect on as you drive along this beautiful Saturday. And with that, I welcome you to Maritime Today, your informational gateway into the maritime industry. This twice weekly excursion through the rich world of the maritime sector comes to you Wednesdays by 9:15 and Saturdays by 10:15, and it is geared at bringing the latest gist in this sector, which is often referred to as the gold mine of the Nigerian economy, with the hope of stimulating ideas that would trigger 360 degrees development of the maritime industry. The program is brought to you by the Nigerian Shippers Council, the economic regulator of the ports. So call a friend to tell a friend that the journey through the world of plural possibilities is about to begin. Thanks for joining us. My name is Victor Oteri. All right, then, so the program today, we are revisiting, of course, the world of trade and want to look at current happenings in international trade. For quite a while now, those who are shippers and exporters and even freight forwarders have been groaning under the stiff and harsh economic policies that is making their business pretty difficult. So we'll be speaking with a renowned economist today. Dr. Muda Yusuf will be connecting with us to look at best ways of stabilizing the financial ecosystem for Nigeria's international trade. Also, we'll be bringing you the latest gist in the maritime world. All these and more will be part of the menu if you can keep us company from now through 11 o'clock. But first, let's have a word from our partners. And when we return, it'll be time to set sail.
Nigerian Shippers Council, they to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you.
Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council, they feel in a parole now for every level. And as soon as goods, they move from port A, go enter port B, with a measure within on a need. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you wella, work with you wella, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As the country port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council get every now to fit make government consider the problem when shippers them they face. Visit we office for number 4 or to buy your daily show your daily. Papa, email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng. Allow us on top 0818-888-8895 or 0703-584-6468. Nigerian Shippers Council with the meeting now for the port of Nanid.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. All right, then, this is Maritime Today. And quickly, let's take you through the roads right now. Otto, Ijaniki, and moving from Abuleado inwards, Iyanoiba is very okay. Iyanoiba intersection, proceeding through Okokomaiko and Igbuileri, as well as Iyanosashi and Iyanora to Customs checkpoint is looking pretty good. That entire stretch looks beautiful. From Iyanoiba intersection, proceeding through areas like Lasu Gate, First Gate, and Iyano School, as well as Iba Junction to Badure Bridge is appreciably good for now. Return journey, not bad at all, still looking very positive. No impediments recorded all through that corridor. Is looking beautiful. All right, then, so those of you around the Beja, and earlier on we had that vehicle, the accident, but of course that should have been taken care of and you do not have any major worries. For adventure, your journey through the roads are not looking very, very fine this morning. You can always reach out to us. We will be able to help you escalate that to the traffic managers who are on the road. And then we can also use our live cameras here, the live camera infrastructure from the studios to also help improve your journey. This program is streamed live on YouTube. Traffic Radio 961. You can view this program live and also on our Facebook page. That's Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Maritime Today is the program. We're very much ready for the conversation, but first, let's kick off with the latest gist in this world. And Mike James will be taking us through that in less than 5 minutes.
All right, Lagos, this is the Maritime News. For today's Saturday, 4th of May 2024. The Chief Executive Officer of APM Terminals, Keith Svensson, has reiterated plans to invest more than $500 million in Nigerian ports. Svensson reiterated this commitment in a statement. He said APM Terminals has intensified talks with the administration of President Bola Tinubu and the Nigerian Ports Authority, NPA, to consensualize the investment plan. He said he is pleased with the significant progress made towards implementation of the plan. Vincent said, and I quote, "For us in APM terminals, it is important that we not only operate highly efficient terminals, but also that we play a role contributing to the development of the local communities and bring in opportunities for growth and new prospects for Nigerians." That is why earlier this year I publicly spoke about the proposal to invest $500 million that we have discussed with the President Tinubu both in February and which we further elaborated in late April. It should go hand in hand with a long-term partnership. Vincent said to APM Terminals, Nigeria is a key market in Africa and the company is proud of the central role that it plays in enabling containerized trade between the country and the rest of the world. And moving on, the Nigeria Customs Service (NCS), in conjunction with the Nigerian Energy Support Program (NESP), has launched a scheme it's called Advanced Ruling to Enhance Trade Facilitation and Creating Transparent Business Environment. Controller of Customs Bashir Adewale Adeni said the scheme is a critical mechanism that allows traders to obtain binding decisions from customs administrations on the classification, origin and valuation of goods before importation. According to the WCO and the WTO, advancing ruling enhances predictability and transparency in customs procedures, streamlining trade processes and minimizing delays, uncertainties and costs associated with customs clearance, Adeni said. And finally in the news, Iran has released the crew of a seized Portuguese flagged ship linked to Israel, but remains in control of what vessel itself, Foreign Minister Hussein Amir Abdullahian said. Iran's Revolutionary Guard says the container ship MSC Aries with a crew of 25 in the Strait of Hormuz on April 13, days after Tehran vowed to retaliate for a suspected Israeli strike on its consulate in Damascus. Iran had said it could close the crucial shipping route. The seized ship, which turned off its radar in Iran's territorial waters, jeopardized the security of navigation, is under judicial detention, Amir Abdullahian said, according in a post on X. He said the release of the crew was a humanitarian act and they could return to their countries along with the ship's captain. Iran's foreign ministry had earlier said the Aries was seized after violating maritime laws and for its links. And that's the maritime news. Thank you for listening. Victor Oteri will be here for the rest of the program.
Nigerian Shippers Council Day to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you.
Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council they feel in a parole now for every level, and as soon as goods they move from port A go enter port B with a measure within on a need. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you wella, work with you wella, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As we country port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council get every now to fit make government consider the problem when shippers them they face. Visit we office for number 4 or to buy your daily show your daily. Papa, email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng. Allow us on top 0818-888-8895 or 0703-584-6468. Nigerian Shippers Council with a meeting now for the port of Nanir.
The Nigerian Shippers Council is now better poised with responsive systems in place to help you and other shippers get seamless, stress-free transition for your clients' goods from point A to B. Today at the Nigerian Shippers Council, timeliness, orderliness, transparency and efficiency is all we care about. Put your complaint through to our helpline 0818-888-8895. Visit us at number 4 Ayodele Shoyode Lane, Apapa, Lagos, or reach us on www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the point of your need.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the port of your needs.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Maritime Today is a program, and we are set for the conversation this beautiful Saturday. And it is born out of the fact that so many things are happening within the sector, especially that relates to promoting international trade. Now, those who are major players are groaning under the the financial ecosystem, under the exchange, the foreign exchange that will make them to really carry out this trading. And that's why we have sought the expertise of an economist to come and help us break it down, especially as we try to stabilize the financial ecosystem for Nigeria's international trade. Let me turn to Dr. Muda Yusuf, who is an economist of repute and CEO Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise, CPPE. Dr. Muda Yusuf, nice to have you join the program. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Victor. Good morning.
All right, then. So what is the assessment of Nigeria's foreign exchange market, and of course the resultant effect that it has on the maritime sector as we speak right now?
Well, the biggest challenge now for importers and for all the stakeholders in the international trade ecosystem is the volatility, or what we call the frequent changes in the customs duty exchange rate. The customs duty exchange rate, I think we need to distinguish it from the foreign exchange market itself. We are talking about the customs, the exchange rate that is approved for the computation of import duty. So they are slightly different, although one affects the other.
Right.
So what is happening now is that the rate at which this thing is changing what is reflecting on the import duty that people are paying is too frequent. And it's creating a lot of uncertainty for businesses. It's creating a lot of challenges for freight forwarders. It's creating a big challenge for even suppliers who have given quotation or pro forma invoice to their clients only for that has to do with things that are imported, only for the prices to begin to change.
Right.
Within the last 3 or 4 days now, this rate has changed about 3 times. As at 1st of May, it was 1,323. As at yesterday, it has gone up to 1,441. And this in the first quarter alone, this rate changed 28 times.
That's between January to March.
Yes, 28 times. How can anybody plan in that kind of environment? And investment is about planning.
Right.
You have to work out your costs. You have to know what kind of bill to give to your clients. You need to know how much you are going to sell your goods. And you are competing with other people in the market. So that uncertainty is a major problem for the investing community,
right,
and for all the stakeholders in the maritime sector.
All right,
so that is the major concern now.
Right. So volatility, trepidity, instability, uncertainty, these are all apt cliches that vividly describes the current situation for the Forex versus the trade ecosystem. But don't you think that the CBN is biting more than it can chew by taking this direct responsibility of the fiscal instruments which guides international trade? Don't you think so?
No, what is happening is that ideally, before now, we didn't have this kind of volatility in the foreign exchange market itself. And according to the Customs Act, the exchange rate that you use for the computation of import duty is the rate as determined by the central bank.
Right.
This has not been an issue before because we didn't have this kind of volatility in the forex market or in the exchange rate itself. Now that we are having this kind of issues with the exchange rate, I think we should find a way, using some discretion, and to stabilize that, the effect of that on trade, on international trade. That is what should happen. Why the government, because the unification of the exchange rate and the floating of the currency is a major of the naira,
right,
is a major reform component for the administration. So we cannot ask them to abandon it or to tinker with it unduly.
Yes.
But as for the implication of it for trade, I think something can be done about it.
So let me just come in at that point. Is it possible for the country to just allow this kind of floating to be done according to market forces? Is that the tradition globally, or should we have a situation whereby the country says, look, even though we are floating the naira, we're still going to be in charge of certain parameters that will make it stabilize?
Yes. What is done globally is that you float. That is what you call managed float, not free float. Managed float. That is, if you are allowing the exchange rate to be determined by market forces, or what the CBN call a willing buyer, willing seller, you still have a framework to manage it, to reduce instability. Because one of the problems that businesses, worry about the most is instability, unpredictability, because it aggravates the risk of investment. So in many other climes, there's a framework to determine the band, the threshold for the exchange rate, so that you don't have too much of swings as we have now. So what we set out under the current administration was to have a managed float. In other words, from time to time, the CBN will step in and out of the system to stabilize the currency within a particular band,
right,
and within the limits of its capacity to support the stability.
And is the CBN doing that? Is it doing that right now?
Well, for now, we are not seeing much of that. What appears to be happening now is like a complete flotation of the currency. which is a major recipe for instability. Well, a bit of intervention, selling to BDCs and so on, but that is not really what can move the needle.
Right.
Is to have a proper holistic framework to ensure that you define a band and you ensure that you keep it within that particular band.
Dr. Muda Yusuf, I have spoken to so many practitioners and so many players in this industry. Freight forwarders, they have been groaning. They have spoken severally on the need for the CBN to properly engage them who are really on ground. Is it to say that there is no real conversation going on between the Honorable Minister for Marine and the Blue Economy, as well as the Central Bank Governor, or perhaps the Finance and Economic team? Are they not looking in this direction to say, look, this is really going to be affecting Nigeria negatively?
Well, I understand there has been some conversation, but we have been on this matter now for quite some time. So by now, I expected to have seen some concrete outcomes from that consultation, because I know that this administration is very strong on policy coordination, is very strong on stakeholder engagement. That is why, recently the president even set up an economic coordination team or something, where both the CBN, the ministers, and some private sector representatives are part of it, including Manufacturers Association. So if this matter had been discussed at that level, I'm sure we will not be where we are today. So there's a framework for coordination and consultation. We have a coordinating minister for the economy, but we need to see a lot more impact, particularly on this matter. This is without prejudice to the independence or the autonomy of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Because the Central Bank is part of this economy.
Right.
The policies impact practically all sectors of the economy. So it's important for the Central Bank to listen to other players and other, operators within the economic policy space.
All right, then we're going to go on a short.
They are all on the same page.
All right, so before we go on this short break, I just want you to take some little time, Dr. Muda Yusuf, to perhaps give us the microcosmic reflection of this forex and its impact on our economy, especially for international trade. What is Nigeria losing, and how harmful is the current situation on our economy?
Okay. Do I do that now?
Yes.
Go for break?
No, do that right away before.
No. What is happening now is that, first of all, a lot of importers are not even going to the port now to clear their cargo, because the rates are getting higher. Secondly, the cost of production, cost of doing business is getting higher. Third, the inflationary pressure that we are trying to manage is being aggravated by this situation, especially when this exchange rate is going on. I just told you, within the last 3 days, the thing has moved about 3 times. And it's now at 1,441. Maybe before the close of today now, the rate will have gone up. So that is creating a lot of problems for the economy from the point of view of the difficulty in planning, and from the point of view of the escalating costs and inflationary pressure. And it also has the risk of diverting trade. People may now begin to take their cargo to neighboring countries, to Lomé, to Tema Port in Accra, or to Benin Republic ports. Because if the situation is too tough here, people will divert their cargo. And that will affect all the activities in the maritime sector, the terminal operators, the freight forwarders, all the MP, all of them. I mean, if there is no traffic, how can you do business? Then it could also aggravate or worsen the problem of smuggling. If importing, doing business through the formal channel is becoming too difficult, a lot of smuggling will begin to take place. Many vehicles on the road now are smuggled vehicles because of some of these policies.
Right.
And that is not good for the economy. We want to encourage as many people as possible to do their businesses ethically, to do their businesses through the formal channel, legitimate channel. we must encourage them. But if the cost is too much, you create a temptation for people to be looking at ways of cutting corners.
Right. Lagos Traffic Radio, 96.1 FM. Maritime Today is the program. I'm speaking with Dr. Muda Yusuf, who is an economist of repute. He is the CEO and the founder of the Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise. We're going to go on a short break right now. When we return, his outfit, CPPE, is actually proposing something that could be more or less like a stabling hog in all of this. What is that proposal all about? We'll talk about it. And then we'll also find out, ever since he made this proposal, have we had any positive move from the government to adjust the rate for the customs? These and many more we'll be reflecting on. And you can also have your say too. You can send that in on 08099 120777. That's 08099 120777. A brief break, we'll be back.
Nigerian Shippers Council Day to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you.
Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council they feel in a parole now for every level, and as soon as goods they move from port A go enter port B with a measure within on a need. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you wella, work with you wella, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As we country port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council get every now to fit make government consider the problem when shippers them they face. Visit we office for number 4 or to buy your daily show your daily. Papa email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng. Allow us on top 0818-888-8895 or 0703-584-6468. Nigerian Shippers Council with the meeting now for the port of an name.
From A to B, from north to south, from east to west, from port to port, you can ship your goods and feel good too. Oh yeah, Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the point of your need.
The Nigerian Shippers Council is now better poised with responsive systems in place to help you and other shippers get seamless, stress-free transition for your clients' goods from point A to B. Today at the Nigerian Shippers Council, timeliness, orderliness, transparency, and efficiency is all we care about. Put your complaint through to our helpline 0818-888-8895. Visit us at number 4 Ayodele Shoyode Lane, Apapa, Lagos, or reach us on www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the point of your need.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the port of your needs.
Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Maritime Today is the program. Dr. Muda Yusuf is our guest on the program this morning. We're looking for best ways of stabilizing the financial ecosystem for Nigeria's international trade. Mushin corridor this morning, good movement we can see from Bolade Oshodi on the stretch of Agege Motor Road. We have it pretty good, but of course we have some bad sections of the road with flash flooded parts descending towards Guru, connecting underneath the bridge at Oshodi. But beyond that point, it's looking good. We still have light traffic all through the area. Olukwese inwards Apapa, a little bit slow due to bad portions too. And then moving from there to Kappa Railway, Ilikpeju bypass is moving at a much faster pace. So it's still looking good all through that corridor. Okay then, so as the program moves on, if you also want to add your voice to the conversation, feel free to do so. And that is on 08099120777. Dr. Muda Yusuf, your outfit recently, I'm talking about the Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise, proposed a fixed customs rate for import duties to tackle the volatility in international trade. So how would that work? Let's start with that.
Well, what we are proposing is that in the interest of stability in the international trade ecosystem, and in the interest of creating some comfort for investors, and the interest of bringing down the cost of living and the cost of doing business. We are proposing that the government or the CBN, in conjunction with the fiscal authority, should adopt 1,000 naira for now.
Okay.
In a framework that will allow for a quarterly review, after due consultation with all the key stakeholders, so that within a quarter, that this is the rate and people can plan.
All right.
So that all this crisis and confusion and, aggravated level of risk in doing business will reduce drastically.
And would the government be thinking of losing money if they peg it at 1,000 naira?
No, not necessarily. Now the rate is, first of all, is creating a lot of uncertainty. Second, the traffic now, even in the port, has reduced. People are not importing as they used to import. Some of them are diverting their cargo. So the turnover, because if your price is high and your turnover has collapsed, at the end of the day, you may not even realize your revenue. Right now, many people have abandoned their cargo when they do the computation and see how much it will cost to clear the cargo.
Right.
So many of them now are still waiting out to praying that this exchange rate will come down. For how long are we going to run the economy that way? In any case, there's a limit to which you should be chasing revenue. If you chase revenue too much, investment will suffer. The welfare of the people will be affected because all these costs will be passed on to the ordinary citizens.
Right. All right.
I'm not sure the administration wants that kind of thing to continue to happen.
I'm having some reactions to what you're saying, but by the way, you can put your calls through 080-99-120-777 and 091-5387-7127. That's the number. This one says, good morning, Traffic Radio. Thank you so much for bringing Dr. Muda Yusuf on the program. It says, given the current exchange rate volatility, what advice would you give to businesses planning their budgets and operations? This is Chuks from Agor. So in that regard, what kind of advice would they give?
Well, first of all, the advice is that this is a democracy. And the business community is a major component of this economy and of this country. So the business community should have a say in the policy process. Because we make policies for people. You don't make people for policies. You have policies that are not working. Those of us as citizens, as stakeholders in the business community should also raise our voices to let the government know that this is not working for us and they need to review it.
All right.
Having said that, individual at individual level, we have to come to the reality that this is a very volatile situation.
All right.
And we need to craft our business strategy to cope with this volatile situation. I've had some contractors, they put a clause now that if I'm giving you this price or this quotation, if there is any change in exchange rate or something, we are going to pass on the cost to you. So they put that clause there just to cover them. So these are some of the things, but what's important is for the policy itself to be reviewed.
All right, this one says, good morning, Victor. I always look forward to the programs on Lagos Traffic Radio because they are very educative. That being said, please ask Dr. Yusuf that how can Nigeria diversify its economy to reduce dependence on volatile commodities and strengthen its international trade positions? Okay, she is sending this one in. I think you've mentioned some, right? But maybe by direct response, what would you say to Sheyi?
No, what you said is right. The way to rely less on imports and diversify the economy is to encourage investment. Part of this issue we are discussing is also an effort to diversify the economy. If people want to import equipment and things to do production and they are running into this kind of problem, how can they diversify the economy? We have people who are in manufacturing, people who are in real estate, people who are in ICT, who are contending with this volatility. And these are people who are in production. You need investment in production in the real sector to be able to diversify the economy.
Right.
But if they are faced with this kind of changes every day, every week, it's very difficult to plan long term because real sector investment is a long term investment. rather than just go and be buying treasury bills and be buying government bonds, which are short term. We need an economy where people can plan long term.
All right.
So creating stability is one way to ensure that we diversify the economy.
This one says, hello, Traffic Radio. What is CPPE's role in supporting and promoting a stable financial ecosystem in Nigeria? You didn't put your name, by the way. Thank you so much for that one. This one says, fantastic morning to you, Victor and Dr. Yusuf. Firstly, I need traffic reports on the Apapa to Shodi Expressway. And secondly, what measures has the CPPE, the CBN, and other regulatory bodies taken to stabilize the customs duty exchange rate in order to reduce unpredictability in international trade? All right, this is Dr. Shiu Ibrahim sending this one in. Apapa Shodi Expressway is still looking good for now. Of course, you need to watch out for the intermittent points and, of course, the connecting points within those areas. But majorly, it's still very cool and calm. All right, so he's asking, what other rules that have you taken from CPPE and other regulatory bodies to stabilize the exchange rate?
Well, the role that we play is that of advocacy, to draw attention to the implications of economic policies for business. It is part of what we are doing, even through this medium that we are discussing now.
Mm.
And I'm also aware that some level of consultation is taking place between the Ministry of Finance, the CBN, the Customs, and some other key economic ministries to be able to tackle this thing.
All right.
So what we just urge is that these processes should be accelerated so that some respite can be brought to the citizens. And I also had contact with the Chairman House Committee on Customs,
Okay.
Honorable Abejide, who also assured me that the matter is being addressed by the House of Reps.
All right.
Through trying to consult with the CBN and other stakeholders. So some efforts have been made.
Dr. Yusuf,
What we just want to see is quick outcomes.
right. Now, some keen observers have posited that the Nigeria Customs Service shouldn't be given the kind of targets that they have for revenue purposes, but rather they should just be conduit pipes for trade facilitation and even border patrol. Do you share their sentiments?
No, what I would say is that we should recognize the fact that the customs have dual responsibility. One responsibility is trade facilitation. The other responsibility is revenue generation. I think what we can say is that we should not allow one to overwhelm the other. Just as they are trying to deal with revenue, they should also not, neglect the very important responsibility they have about trade facilitation.
Right.
And I agree with you, if there's too much pressure on them to generate revenue, that pressure is transferred to the business community. And it makes things very, very difficult for businesses. And it also has a way of fueling inflation.
All right.
Because whatever costs people incur, it transfers to the consumers.
That's right. Let's take it home right now because of time constraints. So, Dr. Muda Yusuf, any hope inside that this could be, realized in the next 1 or 2 weeks?
Well, it depends on how responsive the CBN and other key stakeholders are. But I'm aware that some consultation is taking place to put this to rest.
Right.
But it depends on how fast there's a response from them, which I cannot actually guess. I can't determine that.
All right, then we'll leave it at that for now. It's nice having you on the program. Thank you so much for connecting with us this morning.
Thank you very much, Victor. Thank you.
All right, he's a renowned economist of repute, and I'm talking about Dr. Muda Yusuf, who is the CEO, Center for Promotion of Private Enterprise. And we've been able to look at how best to stabilize the financial ecosystem for Nigeria's international trade. We have to go. The program has been produced by Mike James, John Zurike in the building as well. I say a big thank you to Rebecca Adamu,